touch, and then release. So something that I see get missed a lot is the slide part. Okay, this hand, my right hand, is glued to the lead rope. It's like it just got stuck, literally. Then when I go to slide, it's just like I slide down a ring. Okay. Also, think of it this way: you're practicing the same skill that you're going to need when you do lunging for spec stage 1. He calls it slide, stab, step. You're practicing this slide, okay? So you're sliding down the lead rope. So in other words, my right hand's pulling backwards, my left hand is just moving forward. Got to touch.
So actually, they have to touch.
They have to touch. It seems like an unimportant piece, but it really is important that they touch themselves. The reason why it's important is because it's about consistency. See, if they don't touch themselves, you're not consistent about where they take their nose.
Because otherwise it's ambiguous.
Yeah, it could really, I mean, you can get lost in space here, truly. And it seems like it's the exact same place. But we're not creatures of that kind of clarity, right? The only way we can get really clear is to make sure that they actually physically touch themselves. That's a very clear give, okay? Technically, when they take the slack out of the lead rope, they've given to you, which is, you know, in all technicalities, that's flexing, okay? But it's the exaggeration. If you make them go all the way around and touch, okay, when you're in a sticky situation when you're riding them, say you're running 100 miles an hour and you go to one ring, stop them, right? If you flex them here to this exaggerated point, when they're going 100 miles an hour and you go to one ring, stop them, because you practiced at a standstill the whole way around, your odds of actually getting a dependable one-rein stop when they're going 100 miles an hour is a whole lot greater.
Right.
Does that make sense? Because for every degree of speed that the horse has, you lose a degree of flexion, okay, until you get further and further along in the clarity of it, and you practice a lot of one-rein stops at all speeds, okay? But this is under the assumption that you haven't practiced a lot of one-rein stops. This is the beginning, okay? So again, slide, place your hand on the withers. I like to grab a hold of a piece of mane. Again, it's about consistency. If I grab a hold of mane right here, my hand's going to land in the same spot every time, okay? If you don't grab a hold of mane, you also can get all up here in the air, okay? And what happens when you get up in the air and you're not touching a buddy part is you become inconsistent about your own give, okay? If I'm in the air, when he gets to me, if I'm pulling very hard, you notice how my hand bumps to his face?
Yeah.
So in other words, he gives and I pull more. He gives and I pull more. Now granted, he's soft enough that it's not a great big deal, but think of it this way. Had I had a really tough time getting him to that point, say he was stiff, every little give tells him he's getting closer to what I want. Now, he would give, I pull more, eventually he might get more resistant, correct? Especially if he was hard to begin with. You know, at this point, McClintock's more at a refined stage. Well, not completely. I mean, he's not as soft as I'd like him to be, but he's getting there. You'll notice that he's stiff. So horses have two particular regular stiff parts, okay? If you imagine that they were sitting on a clock, okay, and if his head's faced straight forward, it's 12 o'clock, okay? So the two places a horse is stiff on what would be, I would consider the left-hand side. I always talk as if I'm sitting on the horse. So on the left-hand side, the sticky part is from 12 o'clock to, say, 11 o'clock, okay? Or 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock to 6. This would that most horses are stiff at, okay? So that's why your hand going to right here at the bottom of the mane is really important, okay? Because then you're consistent with your pressure. One, you're always aiming for the same place. Two, when you get there, I'm actually holding. Yeah, oh yeah. And I hold. Now he's in all different places, but he hasn't hit the right spot. Okay? Again, it's about that pickiness. Because you can teach them to touch you instead of themselves, and that doesn't go over really well when you're riding. Yeah. Okay? Now, the thing that you're going to do with stickiness as you, because this is an exercise you can do all the time. I haven't found that you can do this exercise too much, at least not yet. Okay? As you refine this, wherever there's a stickiness, you're going to start learning to bump. See how I'm bumping? I'm just kind of irritating that halter until he finds the right spot, and I'm going to let go. Okay? Now, granted, that's in the refinement next week in the video. Okay, so it'll be elaborated, this bumping. But you notice the next time I went to pick up, I'm going to do this a few times, you'll notice that it'll get really soft, because I know both of you have flexed your horses. So you're probably at this refinement stage, where you need to bump on them when they're heavy. Because right there, when I start to pick up, what should he be doing, Cam?
When you go to pick up,
Yeah.
he should be starting his head coming around.
Right. He should start the flex.
Yeah.
The minute he feels the slack come out of that rope, he should, there. You notice how the first part, again, what I was talking about, from 12 o'clock to 11 o'clock, it's starting to get less stiff. There it was stiff again. And then again, 7 to 6. 7 to 6. Yeah. Now, granted, when you first start bumping on him, you notice his head came up in the air. You notice I didn't release until his head came back down. Again, whenever their head goes up, stay at that pressure, stay at that bumping rhythm. Be rhythmic about it. When their head comes down, stop bumping. Bump again. If they're heavy. Okay? Only if they're heavy. 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 Light. Heavy. Light. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why I'm bumping him?
Yep.
Now, I wouldn't do this to a horse that was just learning, okay? He's been doing this for a while. So, on about the 3rd or 4th day would be the time frame that I'd start bumping. For the first 3 days, I'd just pick up and hold, okay? But after the 3rd day, I'd start implementing this. You need to have a better quality, okay? I've never met a person that grabbed a hold of a one-rein stop, slow and steady, when their horse was going 90 miles an hour. So, the bumping, you might as well practice it whether your horse is good, bad, or in between. Because when you're sitting on their back and they take off running even at 15 miles an hour, you're not going to reach down and go, "It's okay, baby, come around here," right? What are you going to do? Whack! It's going to jerk their head off.
Yeah.
Practice it on the ground so it doesn't surprise them when you do it in the they have ridden a finished horse. Those are the only people I've ever met that pick up on a hump, let him out really softly, no matter how bad the situation is. Okay? Rebecca's very talented at that. Really.
Picking up soft?